Hi, I'm John Levey with Peter Bodo for Tennis.com's Quick Hits. Pete, Tennis Masters Cup in Shanghai, year-end championships. For a while now, you've been talking about that Novak Djokovic, kind of the forgotten guy. He had that great Australian Open. Looks like he bookended it with a nice end of the season.
Yeah, that was I think nobody had more to gain in this tournament than Novak Djokovic. You had Federer was kind of treading water through the end of the year. He's fallen back to second, but he, 3 Grand Slam finals, won one of them, no problem. Nadal pulls out. Djokovic, though, was kind of the forgotten man. A lot of people crept up in the summer. You had Andy Murray, Juan Martin Del Potro, a couple other guys, Gilles Simon playing really well in the late stages, and everybody was starting to say, gee, has Djokovic, lost his way a little bit? Has he tailed off? Just when he needed it most, he came up with the big win.
You mentioned that Rafael Nadal didn't play. Roger Federer had a bad back. Andy Roddick pulls out with an ankle. Very strange how it doesn't seem the players really get into this tournament as much. They had to go all the way down to number 28 to find a replacement in Radek Stepanek, who didn't have his rackets, he didn't have his socks, he needed to buy contact lenses when he got there. Well, what's the problem with this tournament?
Well, it's the end of the year. Everybody is either tired, beat up. Some guys are out of the hunt. For a guy like a Roger Federer going in there, you think, gee, what's he got to gain playing another big year-end championships, round-robin format where you're playing a great player every night. It's really different from the old days when the Masters used to be the first tournament of the year. Now, it was really the wrap of the previous year, and nobody had a problem with that. They'd come out fresh, they'd have a big tournament at Madison Square Garden, got the deal done. Everybody took it seriously, played well. They really need to do something about this. The season is too long, and this tournament consistently demonstrates and proves, the problems you have associated with the tournament with a year that's so long.
You did have Djokovic and Davydenko in the final, two worthy finalists. Did that save the tournament?
Well, I think it kind of did, because you were looking at one point in this tournament, you're looking at maybe a Radek Stepanek Gilles Simon final, or that kind of a scenario. So really, I think at the end you had a quality player, Djokovic, who won the first Grand Slam of the year, every right to be there, totally legitimate champion, and you had Davydenko, who actually won his first big title last April in Miami at the Masters Series event there. Kind of went off the radar, but has always been in the mix up in the top in the quarterfinals, semis at Grand Slams. He got the job done, got to the final, saved his year. Djokovic bookended his nicely. And so they got lucky here and really dodged the bullet.
And it should help both players going into 2009. Well, that wraps up Tennis.com's Quick Hits. I'm John Levey with Peter Bodo.